Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Pokemon Duel. Today we're talking about the new announcement of stat balance changes. Stat balance changes, mass stat balance changes. This is the biggest one yet. So many figures have been affected, and this is really going to damage some decks. So let's kind of go, let's go up. I'll scroll and I'll try to remember from the details from the page. Might have to go back to it from time to time. But first one up, DEOXYS attack form. Wow, has this guy been nerfed? I feel sorry for people who invested cubes in this guy. I think if they've taken the data, and this is why they're doing it, if they've taken it from, you know, when they first came out to now, I think you'd see they were dominant. They were so dominant, but I think they're coming down the more you've got tropical energy, Metagross preventing respins, you've got characters with 130 attack coming out now. You've got counters to it in the form of Grass Knot on Virizion. That means if you hit an attack over 120, the opponent gets knocked out. If you look at the strength of DEOXYS, they dominated and they are slowly coming down. So for me, it could be really harsh to people who invested a lot into their DEOXYS attack forms. So what are the changes? We've got Dimensional Slip going to 3-star. Sounds great. A 3-star purple attack is better, is it not? No, because in Dimensional Slip you don't want to hit it, you don't want to go to the bench, and you also want to be able to hit neutral turns with it. So the amount of times that I have been, let's say I'm defending my goal point with my Moltres, attack form comes in, attacks it with a Dimensional Slip, and against my 110 Crushing Flames, I'm like, yes, it's going to the bench. Respin, damn, it hits my flame charge, and it's a neutral turn. This ain't going to happen anymore for my Legendary Birds because it is going to the bench. And not only is it going to the bench, it's going to the bench and gaining 3 weight. So this guy, another bit of gameplay which I hate, not hate, but like is frustrating, is when let's say you got a DEOXYS attack form on its goal point, you're attacking it, then it hits Dimensional Slip, it goes to the bench, and on the next turn it just comes out again. It just keeps on doing that. That's not going to be happening anymore because it's going to have 3 weight and not be able to come straight onto the field. So that's a huge change. And then we combine this with the Cosmo Energy Plate nerf. So Jesus, like it's bad enough for this guy, but Cosmo Energy only affects Pokemon on the field now. Bench Pokemon are not included. So if you attack and you hit, if somebody attacks you and you have no other DEOXYS forms on the field, they are only on the bench, you got to attack with it. That's huge. A speed form coming out on its own with Cosmo Energy, you can attack that and you can get the kill. This is going to prevent rushes so much. And also, you know when you've got a speed form that goes for the goal block. So let's say the first turn is you go Phantom in the energy grass gym there. This is the like two spots out, and then he put Cosmo Energy. You go to his entry point, block it. Normally the speed form will go and block the goal point. Well, now you could go attack that with Phantom, hit your 40 against its 20 and knock it out because it won't be able to switch to an attack form. Huge. And what's really annoying is sometimes it switches to attack form and then the speed form will just come straight out and block it on its go anyway. That can't happen anymore. So this is a mass nerf. It's not even a nerf. I'm going to change the thumbnail and you'll have seen it. Nuked. Because that is what's happening to them right now. Next up, who have we got? We got Empoleon. Wow, this figure was my second ever EX, and I used it at the start, but I've never used it since. And I really loved using Diving Entry because it meant I didn't have to have a long throw in my deck, which I always have in my deck pretty much. And so this guy's got increased. That Diving Entry is a very unique ability. Still stays at 2 MP. Metal Claw is being altered to Ice Punch. Ice Punch. Ice Punch. Ice something. Ice Jet. Ice something. No. Ice something anyway. I'm trying to think because Weavar is the only one with this attack as well, I think. Anyway, if you attack it, it goes from 40 to 70 attack, I believe. And when you attack it, it will, if you knock Empoleon out, it will cause freeze, which is really deadly in a Trip Weavile deck because you're hitting Ice Punch. It's definitely not called Ice Punch, it's called Ice something else. And if you get knocked out, you freeze them. So when you're in that 4v4 situation, you got an Empoleon blocking your defense. Somebody comes up with attack, knocks Empoleon out, but they get frozen. And if you can come out on the next turn and block them, it means potentially you can leave players isolated up on the like near your goal point, and they're unable to attack. So this is going to be a cool attack. Aqua Jet stays at 30 because it's a yellow attack, and Hydro Pump will raise from 70 to 90. So really powerful in terms of, you know, tactically getting those freezes and also diving entry. I think that's why Hydro Pump's only at 19, not really huge. Also, miss, one of those miss segments will turn from 8 miss to 8 dodge. So definitely bringing him up to speed with other Pokemon, and I literally just pulled him in the video that I just did on this. Again, if just people like comment mic check. If you see me in the Discord, do mic check, like just so I remember. I've even like put it on a card, mic check, and like that's staying there all the time because I keep forgetting to put it on. So who else have we got? We have none of these guys getting any buffs. Rayquaza, Kyogre, and your boy Groudon. They're all getting a new ability. When the opponent, if you have a Rayquaza and you get out on the field, when the opponent uses Groudon, Kyogre, or Rayquaza, your Rayquaza will get a buff of, it was Primal Fear, I think, Primal Ability, Primal Rush, Primal something. I'm trying to do this without looking at that list. The ability will, it doesn't matter what it's called, the ability will give Rayquaza plus 20 attack and plus 1 star on its purple attack. So Fly will become 4 star, 120 extreme speed will go to 140, break energy will become an mass of 80. So, but this is only effect when one of the opponents has it. So it's going to be a real kind of like, if you both use it, you both get the gain, so it's not really an advantage, but it will be an advantage for taking out other players. And if you have 3, or well, no, you could have a whole deck of Rayquaza, Kyogre, Groudon, and just if one gets on the field, you're gonna have a mad deck. With Kyogre being a water type, in the Water Gym Cup, we might see more of him featuring. Groudon hasn't featured really for me in any league battles, any Gym Cup since the ground buff of plus 20. Rayquaza is obviously still an awesome Pokemon at 2 MP. Wow, that guy would be crazy. Wait, did I say plus 1 star attack, didn't I? I meant plus 1 MP. Yeah, so they'll all go to 2 MP instead of 1 MP, which is pretty big. Next up, we've got Palkia and Dialga. Let's talk about them in combination. 2 big changes for each of them. So, Palkia, Spatial Rend is now 120, Dragon Claw is now 70 instead of 60. The ability stays the same, they've got to be the last person off the bench. And for Spatial Rend, here's what's big for this guy. If the battle is a tie, the opponent is knocked out usually. Now, if the battle is a tie, the opponent is removed from the duel, hallucination style, like Zekrom and Reshiram when they hit their 70 attack and they're both on the field. This makes this guy a little bit better. 120 attack is really powerful, but for me, it's just going to be a really awkward ability because I like to invest chain levels to give ups. Other people do as well. So you've got him sitting at 120. 120 is one of the rarer attacks. Usually see people at 100, 130, or 110. 120 are rare, you know. Rayquaza comes to mind with extreme speed. I've got a Rayquaza. I think I've got 3 Rayquaza. Probably going to put another cube in terms of the chain level of Rayquaza if I use him in future. This guy then becomes 121, he's at 120. There is no tie, he dies. it's a cool ability to put in there, but it's a real dependent on your opponent ability, and so probably won't even come into effect in like 4 out of 5, it'll probably come into effect 1 out of like 10 battles actually, maybe, because you have to have an opponent with 120 exact, and you have to land that, considering it only accounts for that part of the disc. Yeah, it's a great ability, and I'm glad they've done it, because Palkia sucks, and I pulled a Palkia in this Gym Cup, so we'll see how that plays out. Next up, we've got Dialga. Wow, this guy goes from 110 to 130. All of a sudden, he's actually a good unit to have, good EX. Dragon Claws goes from 60 to 70, increased size on the Dragon Claw, I believe, and reduced size on the Mist Disc as well. So, Roar of Time, this is kind of a weird ability. If you, when the opponent is knocked out, you return them to the state that they began at. So, Zekrom, Reshiram, they will return to that weight at the start of the game. I think 9 weight, 9 turns. That's cool. That would be useful, right? But then it is also effective on Fairy Mist, Dark Mist. They will return to normal. But the thing is, if you've hit it, you're going to knock them out anyway, and as soon as you do that, those effects get removed from the game anyway. So I think this may feature more in future figures to come out. You know, we might see more Zek Resh abilities, more weight, more disadvantages at the start, compensating for their overpowered when they're actually on the field. So this could be a really cool change. But I'm glad to see Dialga and Palkia get some changes, because, you know, every time I pulled Palkia, I was like, Dialga. I actually don't even have a Dialga. That's one of the rare Pokemon that I don't have. Next up, REUNICLUS. The nerfing continues. This guy, no changes to his stats, but the respin effects will only occur when REUNICLUS is attacking. If you attack a REUNICLUS, you don't need Metagross anymore, you don't need Tropical Energy, you attack this, it will not be able to respin. Thank you. So this for me, they put in it that it was, the respins were drawing out battles, and it's just awkward, the fact that you spin 3 times, and it just became a bit of too much of a frustration. This guy is not featuring much. You know, you do not see him in Gym Cups as often anymore. You do not see him in League matches, because the counters are badass. But so it may not be necessary, and I feel sorry again for people who've invested cubes into REUNICLUS. But you know, luckily I invested 30 rare cubes into Gyarados yesterday. I panic did it, and now it's 10 chain level, and it hasn't been affected, so I'm happy. But I've seen like one of the best guys in Gym Cups and in League play he has +8 on like level 8 chain level on every REUNICLUS. So I feel for this guy. We've got also the fact that abilities on Solosis and Duosion also include REUNICLUS. So it used to be that their linked effects only worked when there was a Solosis or a Duosion. So it now means that you can link them with REUNICLUS and get the benefit from that, which is really good to see, because you never saw Solosis Duosion getting played, and you never saw the evolved. And for me, this will mean people will be more likely to use them, and that'll be good to see. And also, this is gonna be crazy with REUNICLUS when it gets a, you know, think when it evolves, it will get a 60 brain link, so that's 120 when it's linked. Hyper Beam will go to 130, and Confuse will go to 4 stars. So the evolves from that hopefully will compensate a little bit for the nerf that has happened to REUNICLUS, but I wouldn't be surprised if we never see him again. What else we got? We got Shiftry. Not even worth talking about. You know, this guy has the ability to it can move to your goal point instead, but who want to block your goal point with this guy? You fan away. Wow, you've just knocked your opponent step back 1 and they've gained weight. Pound goes to 50. Razor Wind, I believe, goes to 70. Rubbish. Shiftry, you know, get the F out of your name, and that makes sense more to what the Pokemon is, because it sucks. So what else have we got? Is there anybody else in the rares that come to mind? From what I remember, no. We have changes to 2 Pokemon in the uncommon category. I think there's 3 actually. We have Psyduck. We have increases to his attack, and look what this guy evolves into. Golduck, water type. Keep that in mind. So his abilities increase, and also has the ability, a new ability we're combining with Migraine, I believe. We'll go to that. So we've got Psyduck and Kabuto. I just want to mention before we go into what their upgrades are, is that these evolve into Kabutops and Golduck. Water type, rock type. Hey, wait a minute. Rock's the weakness to water. Hey, Kyogre. He's a rock Pokemon. I'm doing it. I'm setting my prediction here. Water, +1 MP. Rock, +20 MP. Next gym. You heard it here first. So that's my prediction for the next Gym Cup. It's combined that with the fact that we've got changes to Kyogre, and it kind of just reinforces that for me. So let's talk about these buffs. Are they going to be? Can you evolve these guys? Kabuto, reborn as a completely new figure. Scratch gone to Mudshot, -1 MP for characters if they land that. Added Aquajet, that's on Empoleon, that's a 30 yellow attack. Increase the wheel size of Protect, decrease the wheel size of Miss. So he has been changed, and potentially, you know, with that, has a chance of getting involved into Kabutops. Cannot wait to see him. I feel like he'll come out as a rare, not an EX. We'll see about that. Psyduck increased from 30 to 60 and changed to Water Pulse. Increase the wheel size of Disable and decrease the wheel piece size of Miss. So again, more potential of getting involved. And they've also strengthened its damage values to increase the value of its Migraine ability. So this allows you to force an opponent to respin a purple attack. So again, more evolution potential with Kabuto and Nuzleaf. Not even worth talking about. 30 to 40, it's like, go away. So the final character to talk about is Kyogre. They've made changes. This was available in an event for the people who were able to access the game earlier. So people in Japan, they got the event with Kyogre. They've added the Primal Rage ability, obviously, as discussed a bit earlier. Water Pulse to break energy, so that's going to break energy plates. Change Hydro Pump from 120 to 130 and decreased its wheelpiece size and added Dodge. Decreased the wheelpiece size of Miss. For me, Kyogre, Rayquaza, combined with the Primal Rage ability, these are the 2 that would even be used to put on that. Groudon's not going to feature. That 110 attack, if you're on the field, is going to go to 130, whilst theirs is going to go to 140 for extreme speed for Rayquaza and 150 for Kyogre's Hydro Pump. Crazy. So Kyogre and Rayquaza, I believe. I mean, Kyogre in the Water Gym when it goes to 2 MP, 3 MP if the opponent has one as well. Wow, he could be crazy. And the final thing to talk about, which I'm really happy about, is Flame Energy. It's got a new ability. It adds weight to opponents who are inflicted by burn. It was crazy. We had the Fire Gym Cup and this wasn't used. I saw it used once in my battles, in 300 battles. So this is gonna be cool. I really like the active element of like using this strategically to inflict weight at the right time. You can trigger a weight win. You know, if you got 6 people on their back bench and you got 1 on each entry point, you know, you got your Moltres with your Flame Charge. Flame charges through all those people and just inflicts burn on every single one. On your next go, you know, you could pull that card, burn them, and then inflict them all with weight. And if they have no plates to use, weight win. It's gonna be so rare that that's ever gonna be seen. But you know, it just adds an extra like strategic element to it, which I like to see. You know, I like to see when they're making changes, they're not just bringing the same things, they're bringing in different changes, that unique changes to decks and plates. So that's going to be cool. So that is the roundup really of the mass stat rebalance. We're going to see that coming into effect 10 AM UTC. Along with that, they'll become Genesect, Articuno, Greninja, Venusaur, Chestnut will be taken out of the recommended boosters, so quad boosters won't have them. Sad to see Greninja go, the rest not too bothered about, especially happy to see Genesect go. So also some rares going. It's good to see Flygon go as well, because he's a cool one to get to boost him up. So, making way for new Pokemon. Obviously, tomorrow I'll probably put a video out on my thoughts on them when they come out. Hopefully, opening some recommended boosters. Hopefully, pulling the new ones from the banner. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm sorry if it's really impacted on your decks if you got attack forms and REUNICLUS, but you know, you had your fun when they came out. It's time to make way for new characters to dominate. So that's all from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hit like if you have, and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you soon.